Hey guys, Truth Waves here. Man, I'm excited. Let's go. I have been doing great. I haven't been sleeping the best. However, I will say I'm sleeping better than what I was before a few months ago. So I'm happy about that, as well as even a month ago. I still have bags under my eyes, but you know what? I gotta count my blessings where they are. So I wanted to continue moving forward in my MEU journal. Um, and we had left off at kind of a cliffhanger there. So for those of you that haven't been watching the MEU journal series of the 24th MEU, the deployment that I went on in 2021, some people say it's a deployment, some people say it won't, or it isn't, whatever, tit for tat. With this being said, I want to just give recap a little bit. So, one thing, I'm on ship. It's really cold still. Really annoying. Food is shit. Two, it's now March and it is, kind of just getting there into the springtime. But obviously, I'm on ship and we're going, over the ocean, towards the Mediterranean. So it's still heating up and whatnot. I'm pretty sure we're actually in the Mediterranean at this point. I forget. I think I wrote it down. We're in like 2 more weeks. We'll see though. And then three, we left off at the cliffhanger. Because guess what? Mark Soto here, Truth Waves, is fixing to rock the ocean with some new and exciting details regarding this Gia, this individual. And yeah, so we left off on the 8th. So here we go. Yesterday was uneventful. I had given her the present, and maybe, just maybe, the jewelry was a bit much. And I also shared a strawberry shortcake with her. And then in parentheses, and this is just me, maybe the wrong move. Okay, maybe the wrong move. I stayed up the whole night with her, but now, in my mind, I don't have to worry as much. That was it. That's all I put for that. So, with that being said, there's a lot missing in that context. So, I want to share with you guys my reality or my recollection of what really occurred that day, so to speak. All right. So this is Lance Corporal Soto. This is Soto, who had been in the Marine Corps for 3 years at that point. Mind you, I joined when I was 17. I'm 20 years old now. I'm fixing to be, this coming year, in 2021. My birthday's in August. I'm gonna turn 21. So I'm a little salty. In a way, I'm a salty Lance Corporal. Okay, my mindset is different. The way I feel, the way I interact with others is different. Earlier, in a previous journal entry, I had referenced a gentleman by the name of Bazzello. And again, Bazzello, if you're seeing this, I love you, bro, and I hope you're doing well. And you know what? You're an awesome dude. I always, cared for you. I always respected you, and I always liked your mustache, man. You always, took care of your mustache and were talking shit about, you know, having a good mustache. And I don't know, like you were just always a quirky dude. But back to the point here. Bazzello hooked me up, homie hookup. You know what I'm saying? I did a favor for him. I forget what it was. Maybe it was something boot band related. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if we're underway, It ain't gay. Remember that, okay? Just remember that. So, Bazzello gave me the strawberry shortcake, okay? He had stored it away for later, and he also acquired some other shit that I could take to her and enjoy with her because it was her birthday and she loves strawberries. And guess what? I fucking love strawberry shortcake. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm gonna be real with y'all, and I'm probably gonna make another video on it. I love strawberry shortcake because it reminds me of just white people. I know that sounds crazy, but it reminds me of white people. All right, and I love white people. But back to it. I am getting way off topic. Okay, so I took the cake. All right, and that whole day. And here's another thing that threw me off, and I didn't even write it down in here. That's a crazy thing. Is that I called her birthing 3 times that day to see where she was, and I couldn't get a hold of her. And I was asking everybody where she was because I wanted to give her the cake, okay? Not just that. Backstory to even before deployment. There's more to it, and I'm going to explain it in another video. I had promised this young woman that her birthday would be different. Yeah, you're probably saying in the comments, Soto's a simp. What the fuck, you idiot? Why would you do that? Waste of money. You're right. You're all right. But guess what? I wanted to be a decent person. And I also cared for her. And I also had a lot of mixed emotions involved with all of it. I ain't even gonna lie. That's how it was for me. And I didn't know how to tell her that. But here we are now. Here we are now. This is just part of my deployment entry. So don't get your hopes up of thinking, oh, this is just a romance story, some bullshit. No, this is what I was going through, and this is part of it. So I had promised to get her something for her birthday, and I did. I got her a silver necklace with a blue gemstone. It was like $400. Okay. I bought it at the PX over in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. Like it's stupid. You know what I'm saying? That's my point. It was all stupid, in the grand scheme. At least that's how I feel. Why didn't I just talk about it? Instead of masking and changing. I don't know. Just it's bullshit. So I find out that she has phone watch. And phone watch is where you sit in an office space and you just watch the phones in case someone answers and you relay messages, you write them down and whatnot. So find out she has phone watch. Boom, guess what happens? My dumbass was already tired and I'm pretty sure I was on ship tax. I was working my ass off the day before. I stayed up the whole night. I decidedly stayed up the whole night with her. So I pull up to the area where phone watch was being conducted. And there's 2 people in there. Well, one that I can recall, and I know for a fact that was in there, because me and him were a little bit more tight, I guess, was Corporal Christie. Hey, yo, Corporal Christie. I love this dude. He was the first motherfucker to call me when I got out. When I got kicked out of the Marine Corps, that fucker was the first one to call me and ask how I was doing. Not even like fucking 30 minutes after I made a post. No. It wasn't even 30 fucking minutes. I'm being over, like dramatic with that shit. It was less than a fucking minute. Homeboy calls me. I'm fucking bawling my eyes out. So thank you, Corporal Christie. I love you. I appreciate you. And I hope you are doing well. Moving forward. All right. Christy's in there, she's in there, and they're talking about their relationships or whatever. Because, also, mind you, both of these people were married, okay? Just throwing it out there. All right. So he finishes talking. That other dude was on the phone or some shit. He's relaying a message. I don't fucking know. They both end up leaving, and she's just like surprised that I'm in there. Surprised that I'm there to see her because, I mean, who the fuck would forget that someone made a promise to them? You know, especially some dude simping over you. Imagine you're a female and a dude's like, "Oh, I like you," or like, "I'm gonna do this for you." Like, the fuck, I ain't that fucking retarded. Besides the point, I still am retarded. So, what do? I sit right next to her and we just start, talking a little bit. I'm like, "Hey, guess what I got you? Some little strawberry shortcake." So I gave her some strawberry shortcake. We ate it together, all cutesy cutesy. And she's like, "Oh, you didn't have to." And guess what? The strawberry shortcake ended up tasting like ass, anyways. So we just threw it away. Yeah. And we sat there and we talked and we talked. And then she shared her Skittles with me. And we were playing card games. She was teaching me how to play card games. And then she kept talking about her life and like some more history about her and whatnot. And I was very appreciative of it. And mind you, also, within this room, for some reason, it was absolutely freezing, like below freezing. And another thing, too, I'm glad that it was below freezing because, like, man, I don't know. It just felt like there was so much tension in that room that, like, my heart was just racing. I felt like I was on fire. Like, not nervousness fire, but just like emotionally. It was just like, going in all at once, and I'm just like, and I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not. I'm not. Um, because I still care no matter what. I do. So we sat there playing, our card game. She was teaching me how to play Rum and Jimmy or something like that. I forget. And then like this other game, and then we played Spades, which I know how to play, and then we played Speed. And that's when things, I don't know. And if you're seeing this, Gia, Gia, if you ever see this, Gia, come on, you're gonna tell me like I don't know, like at least be honest with me. Like, was there something there? Was there? Like, come on. But either way, still, she was married, mind you, so I was very precautious about all of this. I didn't know how to feel, and I didn't know how to talk to her about it, and I also didn't want any allegations towards me because this is the Marine Corps we're talking about. You can get fucked over like that. I mean, I got fucked over even when I was a fucking recruiter. Yeah, but that'll be another story that I still need to tell in of its entirety. So, with all of that being said, we played card games, and it was a really good time. And it got to a point to where it was like already in the morning, like around like maybe 6 o'clock, 6 a.m. 0600 hours. And she was like, "Aren't you getting tired?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've been tired, but I'm happy I've gotten to spend time with you." And then she kind of blushed or some shit. And then she was talking about, I wish some people would just like be more courageous and not be a little bitch. I think she was trying to cut in an edge towards me. I could be wrong, but it felt like she was and trying to get me to like make a move on her. And like again, I didn't want to break that line. Also, I seriously to this day, did not know how I felt about her entirely. I don't. No questions asked. Like, it was just all mixed emotions, straight up. So, me, I had the case with the jewelry in my pocket the whole time. All right, in my cargo pocket. So I pull it out, when she's not looking, and then I look at her and like I open it up, and then she immediately like looks down and is just like in disbelief, and she's like, "No, no, no, why?" And like I'm like in my head, I'm just like melting. My heart just sinks. Everything, I'm melting. I'm like, "What did I do? Oh my goodness, what did I do?" But I promised her that I would do my best to make her birthday better. And that's the thing with me, is that I may not be perfect, but at that time I did my best for the people that I loved. And to a degree, I do feel that same way even to this day. So I grab it again, upset, distraught. I put it back in my pocket. And then she grabs my hand and she's like, "No, it's okay. It's fine." And I'm like, "Are you sure?" And she's crying at this point. And she takes it out, and I help her get the necklace on. And then she's like looking down and she's like, "Man, thank you. Like, this is awesome." And I shit you not. I shit you not. I swear to you, it felt like one of those moments where someone, and it could have been a misread. That's on you, Gia. If you ever see this, to clarify the whole situation, at least in that right. Maybe not for the viewers, but at least for me. You know what I'm saying? But besides the point. All right. Um, it felt like a moment where we just locked into each other's eyes. And I was gonna reach in for a kiss. And guess what happens? And you know what? Some of you might be like, "Oh, she was married. How could you?" Guess what? People are not perfect, okay? I am explaining the context of the situation. So you can go suck a dick. All right. One of the chief warrant officers came in, or lieutenants, who was a major dyke, who was all about her sexuality, came in, um, and don't get me wrong, like she was nice outside of that, like outside of the whole "I'm a lesbian" shtick. She really was, but she was also kind of a dick about it. I don't mean any disrespect to you, ma'am, if you ever see this again. It's just how I felt, and a lot of other people felt that way too. Okay, just putting it out there. And mind you, this woman, I'm getting off topic, but this woman, this chief warrant officer, I'm pretty, if I recall correctly, she she was in charge in Quantico of what is it? Man, of like the Marine Corps' UVA stuff, Uniform Victim Advocate. She was the one in charge, and Major Dyke. So if you're watching this and you know who I'm talking about, if you know, you know. Okay. Besides the point, she walks it, like slams the door open, sees me and her like this close apart, and she's like, "What are you doing, Soto?" And I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! Me and her are just playing a game, or we're just talking, or whatever." And she's like, "Soto, get out!" And I'm like, "I ma'am," or I ma'am," you know. So that's all that she wrote, and that's why I say, to a degree, some way, shape, or form, it was uneventful. But what was I really expecting? She's married. She's younger than me. And it wasn't really my role. It wasn't typical of me. Because I never wanted to get hurt. And in a way, I did. But in a way, did I not hurt her? Was I not being a unrighteous man? Being involved with a married woman? But I never did anything. But either way, it happened. And is my story. So judge as much as you want. But this is my journal entry. And this was the deployment that I went on. And these are the people I love. So, with that being said, that was one day's worth of journal entry and the knowledge that I hold. I miss those times. I miss the people. But I don't miss the circus. Stay true. Stay blessed. Amen.